Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about why artists' likability and authenticity is so important nowadays. And I'm going to give some examples of some artists for this and why it's important. So if you're interested in this conversation and you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you do that, okay? Because we get into a lot of stuff on this channel and I talk about a lot of stuff music related, artists. That's just my favorite topic, okay? And subscribe, bitch. Thank you. Love you. Okay, so to get into the conversation, I'm going to use a couple different artists as examples here. But before I get into the artists, I'm just going to say we're in the digital age. And so we interact with a lot of our favorite celebrities online first before anything else. Twitter, Instagram, Twitter Spaces, OnlyFans, if you got people on there. Any social media platform, okay, you could think of. And because we see a lot of our favorite artists on a lot of these platforms, it is really important to how we engage with them on these platforms, and their likability and authenticity on these platforms matter. Also, when we see them in person, through concerts or maybe meet and greets, but we interact with them mostly online first. And it's important for a lot of our favorite artists to feel like our homie, lover, and our friend. And I know in some spaces that's controversial to say, but it's important in some way now because we see them online, for them to feel authentic to us and for them to feel like they could be our friends or we like their personality. For these artists nowadays, a personality being built into the talent is necessary, unfortunately. We're not in the 2000s era where there was no internet. Now we see artist personalities a little bit more, well, a lot more. So it's built into whether or not we mess with them as artists, if we like their personalities too, unfortunately. So for example, Doja Cat, everybody liked Doja Cat at one point because her personality was super bubbly, fun, silly, meme worthy. Just she was really awesome when she first started her mainstream career and even before her mainstream career. But then she started going off on her fans, insulting her own work, therefore making her fans feel uncomfortable and bad about themselves, saying she doesn't want her fans to call themselves kittens, how she doesn't like any of them, all of this stuff, right? Going off, being really nasty and rude online in general, completely switching her imagery to this dark demonic energy and or imagery, and then also kind of acting that way with her spirit, just nasty, overall very nasty, right? And so a lot of people to this day have divested from Doja Cat from because of that. And that has to do with her personality. Like, people were not saying she was untalented, they stopped messing with her because her personality started to act funny and she started to be not nice. Now, if this was back in the 2000s, we probably wouldn't have known Doja Cat was acting this way or had this type of feeling about her fans because it just wasn't like that back then. We didn't hear or see from celebrities except for their music 9 times out of 10. So Doja Cat has suffered in her career, in my opinion, because her album was a complete shift of imagery, sound, but also I think a lot of fans left her because of how she had been acting. And some say maybe that was the whole goal for Doja Cat in the first place. She was trying to, purge fans. But regardless, her actions and her personality has affected her fans and her growth as an artist at this point. We will see what happens in the future with her, but at this point. Also, in a more positive light, we have artists like Ice Spice and Cardi B. Ice Spice is gives very just chill girl next door, cute, funny, well, not really funny, cute girl next door kind of vibes, and like somebody who's just can chill with you on the block and just talk and vibe. She gives that authentic, homegirl vibe, and she's also very attractive, so that helps as well. And so, if Ice Spice started acting, say, like a Doja Cat, people would stop messing with her because not only do they want you to have good music, they want you to have a good vibe and energy. Also artists like Cardi B. Okay, when she first hopped onto the scene, we do know that, her personality was a big selling point for her. One of the main selling points, actually, because, Cardi B had only had a couple of, mixtapes out at the time that we knew about. She was an internet personality and she was also in Love and Hip Hop. So that's how a lot of people fell in love with her first, was her personality. Okay. So, and then the music came and then we liked the music too. So yeah, and to this day, people talk about Cardi B's personality more than they talk about her music. She's not putting out enough music, in my opinion. So that's a big selling point, for a lot of people nowadays. You have to be on your P's and Q's as an artist now because it's a lot easier to see through people. It's a lot easier to come off as inauthentic or not nice to a lot of fans. Because we have the internet, we have receipts now. Whereas before, we didn't have receipts, okay? There is no digging up old tweets. There is no resurfaced videos. There is none of that. It was magazines and that was it. And nowadays we have, all of this stuff that we can catch artists in lies with videos and tweets and pictures and all of this crazy crap that can either make an artist look really good or make an artist look really bad. So artists have to be careful what they post on the internet now. Artists have to be careful what they say on Instagram Live, on Twitter Spaces, on anything, because it could come back to bite them in a major way and people are going to pull those receipts. So you can't be lying on the internet. You can't be unlikable on the internet. You have to be authentic in order for people to, you know, gel with you well. Another big thing, as an example, is like Lizzo, for example. She, is supposed to have this brand attached to her of body positivity and love and happiness and acceptance and all of these things. And then all of a sudden she comes out with people suing her in regards to them, being discriminated against and fat shaming and, allegedly sexually harassed and all of these things. And it's like, what? And, fans get confused and hurt because Lizzo's brand and her image that she portrays to the public online is very much, happy go lucky, blah, 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 fat acceptance. But then behind the scenes, you find out that allegedly she's not that way, which we don't know. It's alleged, but you know what I mean? That it might not be what we think it is. And then the matter of authenticity comes into play and likability. So then people are like, what's really going on? Are you really what you say you are? Versus if that same situation happened with Lizzo back in the 2000s, we probably would have heard like maybe a tabloid on a magazine, but I don't think it would have been nearly as much of a uproar. There's not a lot of situations that were major uproars for celebrities back then because the internet didn't, circulate everything like it does now. So you have to be squeaky clean. You cannot be over here preaching one thing and do the complete opposite, or you can't be over here being an unlikable bitch publicly. You know what I'm saying? And if you are an unlikable bitch as a celebrity who's in the public eye, who's making music and things like that, you can't let anybody fucking know that shit. You cannot let anybody know that shit. If you're a bitch, it better be kept under wraps for the most part because then people are going to have something to say and they're not going to want to support you, okay? Nicki Minaj, for example, she's very talented, but some people don't like Nicki Minaj's personality. They think she's rude. They think she's arrogant. They think that she's not humble. They think that she is boastful, prideful. You know what I'm saying? And some of those things can be a little true. Some of those things, Nicki Minaj does come off as a bit abrasive sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And she's been in the game a while, but I feel like us outside of the music industry, that's probably just Nicki's personality. You know what I mean? That's just her. That's just how she is. And some people don't fuck with it, right? But the thing is, Nicki Minaj has a talent for that not to matter as much. Because Nicki Minaj is so talented, and she has been producing for so long and she has a core fan base, Nicki Minaj could be as mean or rude as she wants. She could be as boastful as she wants and annoyingly like arrogant as she wants. It's not really going to impact her that much. At least not at this point. However, with Nicki, she doesn't have a history of being rude or mean to her fans, but people just have said that Nicki is like not nice or rude or mean when interacting with other people in the industry that we see, people say behind the scenes that she's not very nice and things like that. So that's more so what I mean. Doja Cat, that's a whole other thing. She's like mean to her fans. You're not supposed to do that to your fans. Oh my god. I mean, you're not supposed to be mean to anyone, but especially not your fans. Another version of like the authenticity conversation and why I feel like it can impact you even if you're talented. Chloe and Lotto. Those are two people who people feel aren't as authentic as they could be. People with saying about Chloe say that she's grown up as a church girl, she's grown up this and that, and it's like core fans who have been with her for a long time don't feel the way she presents herself right now as an artist is authentic to her in a true way, and they feel like she's putting on an actor performance and that she looks uncomfortable when she says and does things and it looks forced and this and that. And we don't know how true that is. It could be completely 100% real, but it feels unauthentic to the fans. And so they don't buy into the brand or the image that she's pushing. Also, with artists like Lotto. Um, some people say that they don't feel like Lotto is that authentic and that her image, brand, and persona is also forced, and that they feel like she's just this regular suburban girl who is trying to rap and things like that. And I've heard that too. People are also starting to come down on artists like Beyonce, believe it or not. Even though Beyonce is not going to fail, she doesn't have the ability to fail. She's already made it in her career. She can retire tomorrow if she wants. But I do hear the conversations people are saying about like, oh, Beyonce's likability is kind of fading because of the fact that she doesn't interact with her fans at all, and she wants you guys to buy concert tickets and these expensive movie tickets and perfume and residency and all of these things that she's doing constantly with the money thing. People are saying, I don't know about that, bitch, because you don't even interact or respond with us. So some people are starting to crack on the Beyonce thing because they feel like she's only coming out, or she only comes out when she wants to sell her fans something, but she doesn't want to talk to them. So people feel like, hey, we're spending a bunch of money on you as an artist, but then they're missing that piece where they feel like the artist somewhat cares about them as a collective, as a fan base. So I can understand why that would be a little bit frustrating. So it's important to have some sort of a likability, some sort of an authenticity, some sort of a connection with your fans with this digital age. Now, if this was back in the 2000s when Beyonce first came out, that wouldn't even be something that was a conversation that's being had. But because of the fact that we are in the age that we're in, it's a conversation that's coming up, you know? So we're in a new era, we're in new times, and it's only going to be more important for artists to be authentic and likable as time goes on because we're in the digital age and that's not going to change ever. So it's a whole new wave now. And there are so many girls in the industry who are being built up half by their personality, marketing, and the other half by their talent and music. But it's literally 150% half of the whole package. You have to have that now. You cannot be a butt fuck asshole loser. Personality sucks. You're bland, you're boring, you're rude, you're mean, whatever. You cannot do that now. Nope, you can't. And if you do, you won't get away with it for long because people will tune out. I'm telling you. Anyways, so I will talk to you guys in the next video. I love you so much. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.